August 1st. It's food plot planting day here in Wisconsin. We got the main plot here by my dad's. We're gonna get everything, all of our fall stuff from bucket planted here today. Got a couple of blends, and then we got a new plot here just to the west that we're gonna mix in with some clover and another fall blend. And we got Kenton Mehlberg from Plot Doctor coming out here today, and he's gonna show us the ropes on some of their products, and it should be pretty interesting. We're gonna be spraying some stuff down here, some liquid lime, trying to get the pH back. We got the soil test back from a bucket that we sent in a couple weeks ago, and we got the results on that. So we're gonna kind of run through everything that we have to do to get this food plot ready to go. But we're in that kind of magical time of year here where it's crunch time. Got to get the food plots done, stands all trimmed out, and trails all cleaned up, and the season's gonna be here before we know it. So be a fun day, be a busy day, but we're gonna get going. We got a lot of work to do. Kenton's gonna be here probably in the next hour. I just wanted to I got a little bit of lime here I wanted to use up that I was spreading some of the food plots in the woods here, just to throw it out on the plot here, get it on the ground so it don't go to waste. And then we're going to drag this out here, and we'll start planting it. And then when he gets here, we're gonna run through all the Plot Doctor products and go from there. So we got turnips and sugar beets we're gonna plant here in the main plot. And then in the new plot here, we're gonna kind of put a mix of the turnips and sugar beets, but primarily clover. That's my main goal with that in the future, is just to have that as a clover plot. But just trying to do the math here on what we have to mix, and we're gonna get planting. We have turnips, purple top turnips, and sugar beets. So the plan is to broadcast this. We got about two and a half acres here?
Yeah.
We got about two and a half acres that we're gonna plant here by the main food plot. And then in about 2 to 3 weeks, we'll come back in with some winter rye, winter wheat, mix that in. And then we have the little plot over here, which whatever seed we have left, we're gonna mix it in with clover for a cover the crop this year, and then next spring that clover should take off. So let's do it. All right, so we just got the food plot all seeded out here and planted. We got Kenton here from Plot Doctor. Just showed up here a little while ago. He's gonna run through the soil test that we did here a couple weeks back, the results on that, some of the suggestions that he has for us, and kind of talk through some of the products that Plot Doctor has and how we're gonna utilize them to build the nutrition of this plot, get it back to hopefully something productive for the fall. And just kind of wanted to fill you guys in with a little bit of history of the food plotting that I've done here in this on my dad's property here in Wisconsin. these plots we've had established probably for upwards of close to 10 years now. One of the biggest issues that we always seem to face is weed control. We are in a lot wetter soil type here, and with that being said, it poses a lot of issues with controlling a lot more aquatic weeds, things like that. Glyphosate works on it, but it doesn't seem to do its job to the full effect sometimes. So that's one of the biggest issues I've faced over the last few years with it. And then just with it being wetter soil, any significant rainfall, we usually have standing water here. This year is kind of an ideal situation for food plotting for us. It's been a very dry summer, primarily across most of the Midwest. So for us, it actually poses a pretty good situation for having hopefully productive food plots here this fall. We don't really need a lot of rainfall to get things going here, and kind of hoping for a little bit drier August and into September, because that just keeps these plots growing at a nice pace, and hopefully the deer will go nuts over them then. But just gonna have Kenton kind of talk about Plot Doctor and then run through our soil test here that we got, and what some of the suggestions that he's gonna have for us that we're gonna do here today.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, so we're here today to help Mike just get off on the right foot as much as possible. And he was just telling me kind of about some of the struggles that he's had in the past, and it's similar to a lot of the guys we work with in the ag industry, a lot of the guys that we've worked with in the past with food plots. And really what it comes down to is, again, just gathering at least as much information as we can. If you're not getting the results that you need, at least take a soil sample. Take a look at some of the reasons why we haven't been seeing the results that we've liked to. Mike mentioned weeds. And then obviously looking at his soil test here, there's some reasons why maybe things weren't thriving. And so today we're going to fix those for him, and with any luck, build a stronger food plot from the beginning. And with that, we should be able to control weeds better, and we'll take it from there. So Mike, like I said, did a good job pulling a soil sample here. One of the first things that sticks out to me is his pH. Not everybody needs to address their pH right off the get-go, but Mike, you're sitting at 5.5. And so, Mike, what were you planting out here?
We had soybeans the last 2 years. I think the year prior to that we had corn, and then going back 4, 5, 6 years was just a lot of fall blends that we were planting out here.
Okay. And this year you're just doing a fall blend also?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so any kind of a fall blend, really anything sitting at a 5.5, we're going to want to bump that pH up. Not saying that we need to be necessarily at 7, but we'd like to bring that up a minimum of a 0.5 point, if not a full point. And so I've got some liquid lime here. We'll show you that in a little bit, but we're going to get that sprayed out here because Mike is seeding today, and this is definitely the time to put that out now. And so just looking at the rest of his soil sample here, his base saturation, calcium and magnesium, relatively in line. His magnesium's a little bit high, but we're not going to do anything about that today. Don't really need to for what he's planting. Potassium and phosphorus are a little bit on the low side, and we'll be addressing that also with some of our other products. He'll be spraying that at the same time that he's doing the lime. So yeah, really the biggest concern is the lime. And again, starting this plot out the right way now is going to help Mike with one of his biggest problems, which has been the weeds. And so if we start weak, the weeds have every opportunity to establish, and we're kind of behind the 8 ball from the get-go. I'm sure a lot of you guys can speak to that experience. I know I can. It's a constant struggle for a lot of guys, like I said, not only in the hunting industry, but in agriculture as well. So anyways, yeah, we're going to get mixing here. We're going to get some of this liquid lime put into the sprayer, and we'll get that put out on the plot here shortly.
And just another thing to add too, if you guys have any food plot related questions while we're doing stuff in the video, just feel free to put them in the comments below. Try and do our best to answer those, or maybe shoot some over to Kenton and see if he can kind of address them if you guys have anything in particular that we can hopefully help you out with here today. But yeah, we're gonna get at it here. We got to fill the sprayer up here, get that all dialed in, and then we're actually gonna finish cul-de-packing this, work that seed in, and then play with the sprayer for a while. Hey guys, welcome back to another First Light in the Field here. I just wanted to talk to you today about the guide light pants here from First Light. I wear these pretty much exclusively in the summer when I'm doing work out in the woods. They're super breathable. They're made out of two-way nylon. They fit amazing. And then when you're dealing with temperatures that can get up into the 80s and 90s in the Midwest in the summer and humid, they are just absolutely fantastic for wearing out in the field. Whether you're out glassing bucks in the summer or doing food plots or even hanging tree stands in the woods, these guide light pants are absolutely crucial for the hot summer months. Go check them out at firstlight.com. We're gonna pack this now, and then we'll hook up the sprayer and get that all dialed in and ready to go here, and we'll be pretty well done planting here. We're gonna go pack her down now.
So we're just gonna spray this one out, Mike, and make sure that it works good, and then the next batch, the next tank, we'll do a little, I'll explain and kind of mix it and walk you through it. All right, careful, because oh, shit. Well, it's a realistic video. Can't remember the last time I poured it and didn't spill some. All right, guys. Well, you know, we told you earlier, we're here today, we're planting, we are liming, we're even spraying some fertilizer with the lime, and we're helping Mike establish this plot to the best of our ability. That's really gonna, you know, start us off the best we can. The stronger we start this plot, the better off we're gonna be able to control the weeds. And so what I'm going to teach you and tell Mike here today is just a basic rundown of how we mix both the lime, the Plot Doctor liquid lime, and then we are choosing today to put the Plot Doctor foliar, which also duals as a great starter fertilizer, right with the lime. We're killing two birds with one stone. We were just actually talking before we turned the cameras on. If we wanted to spray weeds here today with nothing growing out here, we absolutely could put glyphosate with that as well. But again, that's a little bit more of a gray area. So if you guys have questions about that, give us a call. We can walk you through that and make sure that we're doing that properly, but it is possible. So today we're spraying the Plot Doctor liquid lime and the Plot Doctor starter or the foliar. I'm going to show you how to mix both of them here. We'll get Mike back on the ATV and get him spraying here in no time. So we've got some water. We brought that in from the property, from the house. We actually have a pond here in the background that you can't see. Worst case scenario, guys, you can be, you know, getting 5-gallon buckets out of a pond. Anywhere we can get water from. Just, you know, try not to pour a lot of debris into your sprayer. Kind of common sense stuff. But the way that we recommend you do it, I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but we've got about a little over half in the sprayer already, just water. So we filled it up half full. A 5-gallon bucket works best. I mean, you can use any container, but I'm just gonna make a slurry in this 5-gallon bucket. So I've got 2 gallons of the liquid lime here that I'm actually gonna make into this one bucket. I would say that's a little bit heavy of a mix, but we already did one tank full and it went great. So we're gonna do the same thing again here. We did check Mike's sprayer. His nozzles are great. They're not too fine. And also the one thing that we did do that you didn't see is he had a really fine screen on the inside of his spray tank. It was right back here on the bottom where the suction line pulls up into the pump, and we just popped that off. Every sprayer is different. Some of them are larger screens, which will work just fine, and this one might have worked fine too, but it was actually one of the finer ones I've seen. It was probably, I don't know, 100 and some mesh. It was really tight, and so I just popped that off. It's not going to hurt or really keep us from doing anything. The only thing it will avoid is potentially us just, you know, getting some lime gooked up on that and keeping us from spraying. So we just took it off. So what I'm going to do now, I brought the drill and just a simple paint mixer. I'm going to just mix this up. Like I said, I'm just making a slurry. Doesn't need to be mixed for very long, maybe a minute or two. And like I said, I've got this bucket about plumb full, so there's 5 gallons of total material in here, but 2 gallons of it is actual liquid lime. I mean, that's all we really need to do in order to get this mixed. And so what we'll do now is we're just going to pour this into the sprayer. We're going to top it off. Like I said, this is a 30-gallon sprayer. We got about 15, 16 in there now, so this is going to put us at 20. We'll put the rest of the water here you see in front of the sprayer in there, and Mike's ready to go. What we'll do, I'll show you this. Let's get this into the sprayer. Since we need to add some more water anyways, what I'm going to do is just take the Plot Doctor foliar here, and I'm just going to do the same thing that I just did with the lime. I'm just going to make a quick little slurry here inside of this bucket. So the Plot Doctor foliar, it's a 1,7,12 analysis, but it's a heavy carbon-based fertility product. And so not only is that really good for the plants, but it actually is the only reason why we can mix a lot of phosphorus with a very heavy calcium product. The liquid lime is a 24% calcium carbonate, and so it's a fabulous liming product, but you do not want to normally mix phosphorus and calcium in the same tank together, because we will get a reaction and we'll get basically cheese, cottage cheese within the tank. So it's really cool that we're able to do this and kill 2 birds at 1 stone. You know, Mike can take one trip across the plot and get multiple things done, so he's saving time and we're doing a lot of good at the same time. So we're just going to top this sprayer off and Mike's ready to spray. So like I said earlier, that's 2 gallons of lime and 2 quarts of the Plot Doctor foliar. And so, you know, the pH of Mike's plots here was 5.5, and so that definitely calls for 2 gallons. We'll easily be able to raise him up into the 6s with that. And that process is going to happen pretty quick here in the next couple of days. It's overcast today. We might actually catch a shower, so we're going to try to get this on here pretty quick. But Moisture, if we get a little moisture in the next couple days, we're going to get a fast reaction, even faster, and work that down through the soil profile, which is what we want for these little seedlings that are sitting down there. They'll germ in the next 4 or 5 days, and they'll run into that nicely adjusted pH filled with our fertility that we just put in there. So that's exactly what we want, and that's why we did the 2 gallons, is because of the pH being 5.5. So anyways, that is it, guys. We're gonna get this put out there. All right, so we're just Mike's out on the 4-wheeler finishing up spraying. We planted here this morning, just a little bit ago, and one of the other things that we've got at Plot Doctor, we call it Plot Doctor Dry, but it's a 646.5 carbon-based. This is a true starter fertilizer. I guess you could put it out at any time, but it really belongs out with your seed. And so, you know, the order in which we do this stuff really doesn't matter. We've kind of done it in a goofy order here today just because I showed up a little bit later, and Mike and Brennan got started earlier on the plot. But, you know, ideally, this goes out right with your seed, whether, you know, right before you plant, right after you plant. You don't need to work it in deep. I'm just going to go out right now. I'm going to dump it right into the seed spreader here. And as a matter of fact, one of the big advantages that I will say of this particular product and how a lot of guys utilize it is they put it right in the spreader, whether it be an ATV mounted one or a hand one, and they'll mix this right with their seed. And actually some guys really like it because it's a great filler. A lot of these really small seeds, it's tough to meter them out because there's just not very many in there. And so what guys will do is it'll help them just get their seed spread more evenly over their plot, just because there's more material in the bag. So it's a seed safe material. You can put it right in there with the seed. I'm not doing that this time just because I missed the seeding, and Mike did it on the 4-wheeler this morning. But yeah, I'm just gonna go put this out over the top, let the rain rinse it in here that hopefully we get in the next few days, which isn't 100% necessary, but it'll certainly help break this down and make it soluble for the plants. So yeah, put it in the bag. I'm gonna go spin it out here, and that's our Plot Doctor Dry, our 646.5 starter fertilizer.
We're just finishing up food plots here today. Wanted to thank Kenton from Plot Doctor coming out here and showing us the ropes on their products and what we have to do to hopefully get the food plots turned around here and in the right direction. Thanks for watching this semi-live. We're hoping we can get some rain here in the near future and get these growing here. But if you got any questions on anything today, shoot it in the comments below. We'll try to answer them the best we can, and if it's something we can't answer, we'll try and pass it along to Kenton and the guys at Plot Doctor to hopefully answer some of your questions on the products here. Coming up in the near future in the semi-lives, we got a bunch of velvet footage rolling in the bank right now, and we're looking forward to next week showing you guys kind of some of the bucks that we're hoping to chase here this summer. So tune in next week for another semi-live, and thanks again for watching the channel.